part of town in England. It's where Wesley stood, Whitfield stood. Literally, it's the town center where the heralds would proclaim the gospel, or what the king was proclaiming. And on this very spot where that pole is, it commemorates the voices of performers. And so you could say that this is the place where the gospel was proclaimed in the 1700s and the 1600s. And the reform, it has the feel from the cobblestone streets all the way to the center of the town itself. Look at this, just almost like natural that crowds would gather around right there. Oh yeah. And so here we have this sense of the history of the work of God in the midst of the bustle of Chester. Turn a corner and you're literally looking at history. This almost medieval cathedral structures. That down there is the gate of the city. Rome built a wall around this area and made it a fortification from which to go after the Druids. And this was the fortress where Caesar began his campaigns. The Druids actually became the force that united England, Scotland, Wales, Ireland under that Druid influence. Caesar's wars with the Druids this was the base from which he began his military campaign to subjugate this territory to Rome. Fascinating piece of history. And it tells us that God is at work in history, because in the midst of this brutality and this rough kind of world that they lived in, Christianity shined out. There are places here where the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom is carved into stone. And you realize it was Christian civilization that engaged the culture and made it great Britain. And God is moving again to recover the voice, the roar of the lion in the British people. That's what Brexit was all about. I'm telling them, the reason why they had Brexit was something inside the British people has a DNA that is unique and sovereign and autonomous, and that resists being assimilated like the Borg into the socialist bureaucratic experiment that Brussels is trying to create of a one-country amalgam like a stew. All right, well, they're calling me, so I'll have to exit my little broadcast here, but I'll talk to you guys later.